Welcome to Cos Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Hi everyone, Jason Hunt here, inviting you to join us every Saturday morning for news, the week's headlines in science fiction, fantasy, horror, comic books, video games, plus Comic-Con updates and the weather, and the occasional interview along the way. We call it Good Morning Multiverse. We hope you join us every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, right here on Sci-Fi for Me TV.
Riding with the ladders, got my city hot. Big stepper, who wanna rock? Riding with the ladders, got my city hot. Big stepper, who wanna rock? Riding with the ladders, got my city hot. Big stepper, who wanna rock?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alim Leggett.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Glad to have you on, man. Always enjoy having new people come to the show, people who've never been here before, because they have no idea what I'm going to do to them. No, actually, it's not that kind of a show. Yeah, welcome. I'm glad you're here. We got connected through your PR rep, who's helping promote your book, getting you in touch with folks like us. And that would be Inked Marketing. You saw their little slide near the beginning of the show here. So, Alim, why are you doing comics, man? There's so much easier ways to make money, you know, like delivering newspapers or
yeah, but I love comic books, and I love the culture. I grew up on comic books. I grew up on Saturday morning cartoons, and it's really just like a dream come true for me to be, behind the stage all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally understand it.
Mhm.
It's, I've tried writing a comic script. I'm like, I've been reading comics since I was 4. I'm 55. I've seen comic strips. I know what I'm doing. I get page 1 back. Oh, I should have said that thing was this, shouldn't I have? You totally misinterpreted that, but it's okay. So I'm not as smart as I thought I was. Do you remember what your introduction to comics was? Your first comic?
Oh man, I don't remember the title, but my earliest memory of a comic book, and this might just be because it stood out to me more, was there was a Spider-Man comic book. I had like kind of a metal cover, and Spider-Man was like embossed, kind of sticking out of the book a little bit. Does that sound familiar to you at all? I
I
had that book, man. I kept that for a long time.
They did that with a lot of different titles. I can't remember
Oh
which
yeah.
Spider-Man that might have been, but
Oh
it was
yeah.
either a number 1 or a number 300.
Oh, okay. That's the secret
Probably,
behind it.
yeah. They
Mhm.
do it for special numbers, and if it was the 90s, might have even been a Todd McFarlane book before he moved on to
I'm pretty
Spawn.
sure it was. Yeah. Yep. I'm pretty sure it was.
All you young people, I'm asking, like, do you remember your first comic? I'm like, yeah. It's like, so it was a Superman. I've got it around here somewhere still from like 1973.
Oh
Might
wow.
be old.
That was like a family heirloom though, right? You did.
No. That was like I picked it up, the month it came out at my barbershop. It was in his
Oh wow.
magazine rack. I just took it home because
Wasn't
I was
that
getting my
great,
hair.
man? When we used to be able to just find comic books at corner stores and newsstands and things like that.
Oh, hey, I didn't even have to do that because where I grew up was Sparta, Illinois. And the thing about
Mhm.
Sparta, Illinois is in the 70s and in the 80s was one of the primary employers was World Color Press. All the comics in the world were printed in Sparta, Illinois,
Oh
for
man.
good portion of the history there. So people were just taking print runs home like day old donuts at the end of the
Wow.
day. So yard sales were my comic stores. You find somebody who worked there, you just go to their house and you take stuff.
Wow.
So it was fun. Woody's in the chat listening in. Wants he's already hitting the sweet pea olive oil connection here. It ain't that. Mike Walters is out here liking and saying hi, and he's going to be starting his show for the mic stand at the top of the hour. So when we're done here, do go over and get all your niche news in anime, manga, professional wrestling, and comics. And yes, just like you, Mike, Alim did get into comics through the cartoons at the same time. I think a lot of us had the parallel paths. If you were a comic book reader, well, first of all, during my era, if you were a comic book reader, around summertime, they had the fall previews for Saturday morning cartoons right there in a center page spread. So you would say, hey, I'm reading Spider-Man. Oh my gosh, they're going to do a Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends cartoon. I am so there every Saturday morning. For you, it was X-Men on Fox.
X-Men on Fox. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, didn't
I
miss a one.
saw what happened. Got to see Morph go out like maybe 10 times when the series started back over. I still remember Wolverine saying, "Morph, no." Yeah.
It was, the first time, I can't remember if it was in the X-Men cartoon or if it was in the Spider-Man cartoon before that when Wolverine first showed up, which, by the way, he did with an Australian accent for no reason whatsoever. But they cheaped out on the animation early on because they threw him. And I want to say it was even early X-Men series. He gets thrown by a Sentinel and he's going off into the distance, but he's staying the same size. He's going over the mountain, but they didn't shrink him down as he went.
So I gotta find that clip somewhere.
It was hilarious. Mike's was the Super Friends, which ran for decades under various different titles. So So at some point you found out that you had a talent for creating the comics. Where was when did you decide you were going to make these things?
I decided that I was going to. Well, I always had a passion for just creating stories for characters, even as a child, because I'm a bit of an artist, so I like to draw, and then I draw a unique character, and then just create a backstory for them, and that went on through life, and then right at the beginning of 2020, I drew these characters. I was bored at work, about to end up on furlough, but I didn't know it. And I said, man, I would love to make characters. I would love to make a book for these guys. That's posted still on Instagram somewhere. But then at the beginning of this year, I joined a lot of I create comic book groups on Facebook and things like that. And I linked up with some really good people that helped me, kind of navigate my way into this. Because until you find that person, it kind of felt unsurmountable to me. Like I didn't know where to begin. But yeah, so at the beginning of this year, I decided I'm going to make this comic book, and I found a really great team to help me out, and we've come a long way, and we created a great book.
There's a huge network of people out there, all in the indie market, and the cool thing about the indie market is that they want you to join them and make your own comic. Unlike when you're in the mainstream, you're the big guys. You're really like, I hope that comic book from the other people does not sell. I want it to fail. Indies, they all want you to succeed. Because
it's amazing, man. It's a beautiful crowd. It's really is like so many people have taken me in and been passionate about uplifting me, and I'm truly grateful for that. Just the community at large, like you said, is just full of wonderful people that, and I think it's a unique in any aspect of life, the way that the indie comic book community has been, at least in my experience. There's so much love and support from like you said, the other artists and creators. So it's great.
Yeah, because your success means that people will find out there are other comics other than DC and Marvel, and that means that if people find out that you're doing something indie, they want to find out, well, who else is making comics? And it's that whole rising tide raises all boats kind of thing. So I've got your Kickstarter pulled up here. It is a Kickstarter. Yes, it is a Kickstarter. 58 backers at the current moment. Let's remember that number, folks, because I want to see that number change, and I don't want it to go down. Don't any of you cancel out if you're already on this thing. I've had that happen one time. That was embarrassing.
Wow.
But let's see if we can get this thing moved up just a little bit here. So Sweet Pea, that is not the big guy here. That's the little girl here.
That's the little girl. Yep.
Makes much more sense now. Now I did read this. I told you I might not have time. I found the time. I got like confused in the middle. I'm like, wait a second, and then I'm like, oh, that was intentional. So there's a spoiler there that I'm not going to dig into, because once the readers figured that out, they're like, oh, this is crazy, and she doesn't know. Oh boy. But tell us where you were, what you were doing, and what brick landed on your head that had the entire Sweet Pea concept in it when this came to you.
Well, I'm a bit chaotic in the way that I think. So I like I said, I drew these two characters on a whim. It was a little girl and her guardian angel, and then I just started pouring ideas into these characters and trying to flesh them out and things of that nature. So eventually, when I linked up with the people that I linked up with, because I'm telling you, like, I had to have like a million different points, and the group that I hooked up with, they helped me to condense it down into this. So yeah. You've got to write 22 pages. You can't write the Odyssey all at once. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had that manga mindset. I was thinking in terms of like, I'm going to do like 50 issues and then had a plot twist over at 51 so people can come back and look at the back issues and just Yeah.
Playing the long game. So now you drew them, but you didn't draw this book. You went out and found another artist. How come you didn't just go ahead and draw it yourself?
Well, I wanted to make something that looked really professional and clean. My background with art, I do digital art, but I also do painting a lot too. And sequential art, I think, is an art form all in its own that I would like to have given its proper due when I presented a book. So if I was going to do it myself, I might have taken like another 2 or 3 years just to get the artwork to where I feel like it's good enough to present to people. So, yeah.
A man's got to know his limitations. So
That's right.
Says. So you found who was your artist on this? I could scroll down and find out, but it's too far to go down. I don't want to do that yet.
His name is Yusuf Shitua.
Okay.
He's
how did you find him? I mean, I know there's lots of different sites, but what path did you take to find this guy and say, yes, you're the guy?
a friend of mine. I was reaching out to a lot of guys on inside of the Facebook groups and just putting it out there that I was looking for an artist, which was like dropping blood into a tank full of a drop of blood in a piranha tank, because I just got flooded and overwhelmed. And in the middle of all of that, this guy, good friend of mine, Stephen Duffy, a good friend of mine now, Stephen Duffy over from Apex Comics UK, got with me and helped me build a team around him. And that was actually one of the artists that he had worked with in the past. He did some concept work for me, and I fell in love with his art style, and I think that he nailed it. So I went with it.
It works for this. So I scrolled down expecting to see the first page of the PDF that I read. No, this is not how I'm gonna do this. What would you call this? I mean, it's sci-fi, but it's not sci-fi. It's horror, but it's different.
Yeah. See what I was trying to do is, have you ever did you watch Adventure Time? Did you ever see that show?
I avoided Adventure Time like the plague.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was not my cup of poison.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like it kind of looks like a children's story, but it's also very dystopian at the same time. So I like that. So it's like that, and it's like The Last of Us, and it's a bit like The Boondocks also. So the idea that I wanted to execute was, it looks kind of, sweet and childish on the outside, but once you get into it and in the nitty gritty, there's a lot more intensity inside of the book. So I wanted to kind of force those two things together in a way that worked.
Yeah, it is kind of The Boondocks meets Resident Evil.
There we go.
It's because you have story being told to you in the background that the main characters aren't paying attention to, and it's important. And I think one of the main elements, and I don't think I'm spoiling anything for something that happens on like page 3.
Right.
Your main character is driving his car, and the radio is talking about an explosion at the CERN laboratory, and then there's like, and I thought this was funny because they were like, killed 4. Don't worry, there's no problem. Like, you killed 4 people. There's a problem.
There's a problem, but I think that was a little sense of realism and just what the character is used to, because this takes place in Philadelphia. So, and I think all of us by now are kind of desensitized to things like that. So he's just like, this is important stuff, like you said, that he should be paying attention to. And he's like, man, I don't want to hear this today. What else? What's on the radio? Just trying to find some music to help him get through the traffic jam.
Yeah. And there's nothing at all that says that everything that happens afterwards is connected to that, but it's connected to that. We know that all this crazy stuff that's about to happen, something got opened from here to somewhere else. We don't know if it's another planet. We don't know if it's another dimension. We don't know if it's hell itself, but it's something. Do you want to tell people what it is? Because that's your call.
I don't want to give away too much, because I still got 3 more issues to go, but there is energy in the sky, right? Permeating the earth now, and it's kind of tearing dimensions apart. So these things you see here are coming through that rip.
Yeah,
Now,
and whatever comes through a rift, guaranteed, it eats people. That's what they always
absolutely.
eat. They never go attack the asparagus farms. It's always like we eat those. Hey, Pops,
Yeah,
glad to see you in the chat here, sir.
they
And
never
we are
come out and
simulcasting on Pops' show.
oh, cool, awesome. Yeah, they never come through and try to, fill out a job application or anything like that,
Yeah,
right? Like,
they don't do that. They're never coming through. It's like, oh my God, our dimension ran out of nuclear waste. Do you have any nuclear waste for us to take care of? No, it's always, we want brains, we want blood. So you got these flying and sometimes just crawling creatures that are just they just disrupt traffic, and they're killing and eating people.
Beans.
And these beings.
Like disrupting traffic. That's got to be one of the worst things you can do, right?
Don't disrupt traffic. Blow up something, but let me get to work. But yeah, he's still trying to get to traffic and still trying to get to work through traffic. And this is what he's got to deal with. Well, first thing, of course, that goes through his mind is on one of these roads is his daughter in a school bus. And that's his main priority is leave the car, get the monkey wrench, plow your way through as many of these monsters as you can to get to your daughter and rescue her and take her home.
Priority number one. Yeah.
Yes. Now, he has no plan for how to do that. He's just, brute forcing his way through this. And I can't go past that point because it's huge spoilers after that. Huge spoilers after that. But she gets home, and she's protected from these beings. And yeah, you're going to have to take this because I am not going to take responsibility for dropping any of these bombs. So if you want to give an elevator pitch about what happens after this without spoiling the action, that's up to you. I will say people get eaten, people get half eaten. This is if you like your monster books with lots of disembodied parts, this
is the one. Yeah. I don't want to give away too much, but I will give a bit of backstory that I'm not piecing together, but I'm planning on maybe doing an issue 0 in the future just to help explain a few things. That energy, let me see if this will entice a few people. That energy is a resource that, people or other forces outside of Earth are interested in, and it may cause Earth to become a battleground. So
it already happened. The battle is on right now, and you can see Marcus cradling Imani here. Imani's small. Either that or Marcus is big, because I know she's supposed to be a teenage girl, but I look at her and I'm like, she looks like all of 8 sometimes. She's very, very small, but
that's a purpose for that too. She feels. It's not that she feels small in her dad's arms, but he just feels like a giant when he's holding her. Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't act like she's 8 when she's on the bus and she's interacting with bullies and she's interacting with her best friend. This is definitely, middle to high school level conversations. But this is, oh, look, he made it through traffic and he got to her.
That's right. Yep.
Not word. And she's safe. He is protecting her, and her best friend's still against the car here, shell shocked because she's seen something that she can't believe, and it's not the monsters.
Those kids, they've seen some things.
Yeah, she's seen something other than just the monsters. It's not sitting right in her brain. She's like, that's, and but she doesn't get a chance to tell Imani what it is she saw because she's not gonna make it. She don't get attached to that one. And this is just, look at this. His head's getting bitten off. Did you give your artist descriptions of these monsters, or did you just say, go to town,
No,
Eldritch horror kind of.
I definitely used my level of, my limited level of skill as an artist to do some concept designs, and this was one of them. Now he took it and turned it into something that I love. But yeah, that was one that came from me. But the point of these monsters, we had a long talk beforehand. I wanted to really illustrate real life violence, and that that children see inside of these inner cities, but do it in with the monsters. So that's why that's all there and so vivid and extreme. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're kind of like reminded me of the remember the Ghostbusters, and Gozer had the giant dogs that were kind of out there. They were demon dogs, I guess, but it kind of reminds me of those, and all the other creatures that were flying around when he was coming through his portal.
Oh yeah.
Now this is backtracking again before what the scene we just saw. He's trying to find something on the radio, and oh look, there's a plane just coming down slowly, and then did that get your attention? Yeah, that got your attention. And then he actually, once he makes it to Amani, the sharp-eyed reader might notice that he looks bigger than he ever did before. He looks more buff and stronger and more aggressive. So and even the energy around him, there's something super about him at this point, at these places in time.
Right. Now that one I'll give you too. That energy also is changing, is affecting certain people, and certain human beings are being affected by that thing. By that, it's changing DNA a little bit. So if you're extremely unlucky, it might kill you. It might have no effect on you, or it might give you some kind of powers.
I was I've been binging the new Doctor Who. I don't mean the immediately new Doctor Who. I mean from the time that Christopher Eccleston took over and just forward. So I'm into the old Scottish guy now. I keep forgetting his name. But they did the episode with the superhero where his DNA was affected, and he's visiting him as a young boy. And he's reading this book about Spider-Man. He's like, why do they call him Spider-Man? He's like, because he got bitten by a radioactive spider, and you know what happened? He got leukemia and died.
Yeah, most likely, right?
That's the unfortunate thing when your genes are modified. It's like, it's radiation poisoning. What's he doing? No, he got spider powers. That would never happen.
I gotta check out Doctor Who, man. I've heard too many good things about it not to have seen it. That's like a badge of shame by now, right?
Oh man, yeah, especially since it's 60 years running. I mean,
you don't get that far for no reason.
No, I got into the newer stuff because it was on hiatus for a long time. But I've got the website. We do reviews of DVDs, and BBC reached out through the PR and said, hey, here's the David Tennant Doctor Who Christmas special. Do you want to review them? I'm like, sure. I haven't seen Doctor Who in a long time. When I had watched Doctor Who, I was a kid, and it was on PBS, getting syndication that way. And it was like Tom Baker was the doctor, the guy with the big teeth and the long scarf and the floppy hat. And I remember they had an energy enemy. And even as a kid, I could tell that energy being was the result of hanging saran wrap in a doorway and shining a flashlight off of it. I was like, that's cheap. So I started watching the David Tennant ones. I'm like, holy crap, who died and left the BBC a budget? Because it was like good. And it was well done. And it just started getting better and better. Now I haven't seen the last Doctor they've done. So I've heard mixed reports. But I will suffer through it and watch it if it's bad, because I want to get to the new stuff that's coming up. But yeah, if you haven't watched it, you've got to.
I'm going to start tonight. I'm going to search it up and try to find it, and
it's on HBO Max.
I got it. I'm there.
Okay, yeah, just start at the beginning. It'll start you right with the Christopher Eccleston version, and he was the Doctor regenerates. That's you know how with James Bond they just replace him with a new actor and nobody really notices,
Mm-hmm.
and they won't do that with Indiana Jones because they have to leave a legacy now. I'm like, no, just get a new actor. It works fine for James Bond. Well, they do that with Doctor Who again too because 60 years actors want to go do other things. So what they've done is he's a Time Lord and they've given him regeneration powers. So at some point in that actor's arc, he will die as a character, but is like this huge energy explosion and it subsides and there's the new actor standing in his place. So he's got this sort of immortality thing going for him. He just takes on new bodies. Loses memories, gets a little crazy for a while until he settles back down, has to find out what his new self likes and doesn't like and how he acts. So it accounts for different personality traits and everything else. It's really a lot of fun. And like I said, 60 years on now, it's not hitting its 60th anniversary. Something sonic screwdriver was not lame. It's a screwdriver and it makes noise. So it's sonic. That's his tool. This is really an iconic picture, though, and that is a page from the book. So I'm loving that. Wow, these are all the pictures we got, which is good because, honestly, it's not too far into this story where you figure out where things are going, and I can't talk about them.
There's big twists inside of this book, and a lot more to come, too.
Now, you said 3 more issues. Is this going to be a 4-issue arc, and then it's done?
No, this is going to be a 4-issue arc that introduces you to the story. I'll keep doing these for as long as I'm alive. I think I'm loving this feeling, and I think this is going to be my drug, man. I got to get another book out. I want to get another book out in like the first quarter of 2023, if possible. You know what I mean? I like doing this. This is fantastic.
Well, you're set to deliver this one in January, and it's done, folks. I've read it. The thing is finished. He's just got to send it to the printer. Maybe you already have done that too. But we've got to get it funded in the next 18 days to print. So there's a $6,000 goal. We're at 3212. Still at that 58 backer mark, folks. Come on, help me out here. Digital version, the PDF that I read, which was, I want to say 24 pages. 28 pages. So a little bit bigger than a standard size floppy. And that's 28 pages, no ads. You can get that digital copy for $5. So $5 will get that digital copy sent to you. They're going to have to wait till January to get it, right? You're going to fulfill it all then?
They will. Actually, it's done. So I put that date a little bit further out just to give myself some wiggle room with things like any print and shipping issues that might come up. But that digital, right, I can push that out as soon as the Kickstarter is over.
All right. So 18 days left. You'll get your digital copy right away for $5. For $10 for the physical copy, it's only $5 to ship it. So that's $15 for the physical book. That's a fantastic deal. I did not see on this campaign, and this is your first Kickstarter. So
my first,
you backed a handful of them, but you've not run any of them yet. I did not see any stretch goals.
No, I haven't gotten any of those up yet. I'm planning on it, but I'm not sure where I'm not sure where or when you're supposed to put stretch goals. I thought those was for after you hit your target goal.
Well, yeah, you start opening them, but you advertise them ahead of time so that people want to hit the goal.
Okay. We got to get those up.
Oh, it's a $6,000 goal, but hey, if we crack 7,000, I'm going to get, a sticker of the main character. Okay, well, we got to get to 7,000, folks. Gosh, at 8,000, it's going to be, a print of the main character and, the 2 characters and standing there with energy and everything. Yeah, I don't know what stretch goals you have in mind. I'm just, saying that they're out there. So yeah, people do like to see the stretch goals right from the beginning so they know what they're working toward. For $12, you can get the digital and the physical. $5 shipping, so it's $17 still. But you're going to have to pay $5 shipping anyway. And what's this? The Icky Sticky Bundle. That's,
yeah, oh no,
this is the
it
sticker.
was late
Okay,
when I. Just the stickers, yeah.
Was there an image of the stickers down here that I didn't see?
I have them in the add-ons. I gotta put them. I guess I gotta move everything onto the main campaign page.
Yeah, you gotta give us pictures here. We need visuals,
They-
because that's one thing that Kickstarter won't do is let you put pictures over here where the slider bar is.
yeah.
Unlike Indiegogo, which does.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to.
Yeah, I just gotta move them over. They're over there inside of the add-ons, but yeah, that would be best. I'll do that tonight, actually.
Are they all drawn by the same guy, or did you get a different artist to do stickers?
I had a different artist do the stickers. They're little chibi stickers.
That was my next question. I was like, everybody has the chibi stickers.
Mm-hmm. Little big head babies.
Yes. I don't. I mean, I get the like, but I don't get the origin of the like. Why are they such a thing? But they are.
I'm not sure, but they're appealing. I do like them.
They're like 2-dimensional Funko Pops.
There you go. Yep.
$50 signed, sealed, and delivered. For this, you will get your digital copy, your physical copy, the sticker bundle, and a signed pinup poster. Who's doing the pinup and who's doing the signing?
So my the artist that the book is doing did the poster. I'll be doing the signing. And again, that's also on the add-ons. I'll be moving that over to the main page tonight so you can see what that looks like easily.
Right, so if you don't want to get all of this here, you can, just get the main book, go into the add-on, say, yeah, give me the pinup too, skip the stickers or throw the stickers on. That's the lovely thing about add-ons is it's just an a la carte system. Just throw in what you want. $100 brotherly love, because this is happening in Philadelphia. You'll get a signed physical copy and you'll get a special in-book thank you. So wait, you get a signed physical copy and an unsigned physical copy. So you're getting 2 copies of the book, one to put away and one to read. And then, of course, your name is going to be in there, so you'll be able to have a producer credit on this. Show people you helped make this one happen. And all gone. Somebody took the one shot of, oh, dude, how did you only have one of these? You had a statue of the main characters?
I'm actually in the process of painting it now. So I'm dropping the skin layers on them now. But these are them.
Freaking
and it's
fantastic.
actually this is a panel from the book, and I made one because I wanted this to be a collector's item. I'm going to get this mounted on I'm going all out. You know what I mean? Like I want this to really be amazing. But it's hand painted and everything, so I couldn't do a whole bunch of them. And I wanted it to be a collector's item to have some serious value one day.
Did you use a 3D printer for that?
Yep, I had a 3D print it.
That is gorgeous. So somebody got that, plus all the signed pinups and copies of the book, the digital, and their producer credit. So $800. That was did that go day one?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, the guy was right on top of that.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, when there's only one of them, and it was that was a quality looking piece of art. So that got you off to a good start. You're going to have this delivered in January and well, February for the one that you're still painting on, probably. But now some of these say February and some of them say January. I know it said January at the beginning.
It might be the digital might say January, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And the rest probably say February. But again, that's just to give myself some room for any issues that I might my first book. Yeah. So any issues that I might come across with the getting them printed and everything like that. I don't know if I have to send them back or what that looks like. So
true.
But actually, because the book is done now.
It's all done, but we publish here as well through Critical Blast Publishing, and you send it to the printer, make an order, and then 2 weeks later they're getting to it. So you're queued up behind people all the time.
Yeah, I'm going to start now. I'm going to start that process now and try to get a sample back soon, so that at least I know.
Copy.
Yep.
Who are you using for the printer?
I think I'm going to go with Comics Wellspring.
Good folks.
Good company.
I ship a lot of their books out because that's the other thing we do is we're a crowdfunder fulfillment agency here. Comics Wellspring sends a lot of boxes our way, and they do make a quality product. I think you'll be happy with what you get from them. Yeah,
I think I might need to hit you guys up, man, because the fulfillment is the other thing that I'm like, what am I going? How's that going to look when I got, a room full of boxes to ship out?
I'm sitting here looking at $5 shipping. I'm like, how the hell did he pull that off? Because I get things done cheap, and I can't do it for $5 a book. I don't know. I don't know what we'll talk offline.
We'll talk.
Yeah. But I got to figure out what your trade secrets are here. But how far are you then onto book 2 so that you can keep this momentum going at the end of this campaign? Because you want to fulfill, you want to have the next one launched when you're fulfilling.
Mm-hmm. I've got the bones done, and now that the Sweet Pea is completed, I'm going to start moving further onto it. But I'm really just every day focused on this Kickstarter right here. I want to make sure that this is successful. So that once this is done, I'll really be able to dig 100% into number 2. And like I said, I want to have that out first quarter, maybe April. I want to be able to be done with that book.
Okay.
Issue 2.
You said you want to keep doing this forever. Are you, when you say, are you talking about like stories in this world, or specifically focused on Sweet Pea and her journey through this world?
Well, there's a lot more characters that I have in store, and like I said, with the 2 factions, and then Earps response, there's a whole lot that I can do with this. But these are only 2 characters from a really, really, really long list. We're talking about, if I really sit down and think, we can go back to maybe like 8 or 9 years old. I've been making characters and creating stories from them. It might only be a fraction, but that seed is enough to grow something amazing from.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and you're going to have more characters like Marcus, or like Marcus in the fact that they're special.
Yep, there's definitely going to be issue 2. Issue 2, you're going to meet another special that's in a different circumstance than our main characters here, to give you a little bit of a show you how other people are dealing with this thing. So it's not just like a sandbox or a bubble. I want to have like a broader scope of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, are you making plans for conventions to take these books to your local comic conventions, or to your local comic shops? Have you showed it to them?
Yep, I've shown them. I've been putting flyers up inside of all the comic shops. Now that I've got the sample copy, I might take it down to a couple of guys and ask them what they think about it, and think about having it put in. See if I need to put any kind of special barcodes on it or anything. And as far as conventions, absolutely, I can't wait to get out to conventions and pull a table out and see how it does. See how I can do there.
Have you gone to comic conventions before? I mean, you're a comics fan. I figure you've gone there, but not as a salesperson. You go as a fan.
Yeah, I've been there as a fan, and I learned that you either got to leave your kids at home or take a whole lot of money.
Yes. Yeah. Well, either way, you got to take a whole lot of money.
Either way,
enjoy it, because there's stuff to buy there. It's all cool, and you can't get anywhere.
It's all cool. You meet a lot of great people there in those places, though, man. The energy inside of the conventions is always great.
Yeah, you really do. And what's more fun, and you'll find this out, is when you go to the same convention as a vendor the third year, and it's like you're sitting up with all the same people you sat up with before. You've got this new network and this new family of people that you see a couple of times a year, because they're from all over the country and they're coming into these spots. I vend at science fiction conventions in the Midwest, And I as I'm sitting around, I'm always looking around. It's like, where's this person? Where's that person? There they are. Hey, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while.
Awesome, man. I can't wait. Can't wait to join the family.
It's gonna be a thing of beauty, man. All right, I think I've talked about it as much as I can without venturing into spoilers. We've seen the items for a first campaign. Yeah, get your add-on pictures on there, but at the same time, you don't have a whole lot of add-ons, which is good because you really want people to focus on the book right now. Get them to love your characters. Then you can come in later with, T-shirts and everything else because now they love your characters and they want to represent them. That'd be easier, an easier sell. Come back when issue 2 is ready. We want to see more of what Sweet Pea and Marcus are going to be doing. Sweet Pea's her nickname. I call her that, but her name's Imani.
Her name's Imani.
But Sweet Pea's just what her dad calls her, right?
That's right. Yep. That's it. That's his Sweet Pea. So there you go.
Why did you pick that to be the name of the book?
Well, again, I wanted to create that contrast. You know what I mean? So, and at the end of the day, it's about the innocence of Imani being challenged by an extremely violent environment. Okay. So the name Sweet Pea kind of pulls you back and keeps you anchored inside of that place of innocence, being confronted with, like you said, monsters dismembering people in the streets and things like that.
I see her 6 issues down the road. She's gonna have a rail gun strapped to her back. She's gonna have hand grenades dangling off her Hello Kitty backpack. She's gonna get uninnocent and rough real fast in this world to survive. But that's a supposition. I can't say that for sure. All right. Alim, thank you so much for coming on, man. Do appreciate talking with you about your book. Want to have you back for the next one. If you'll be sure to reach out to us, make that happen.
I would love to.
All right. And everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being here tonight and supporting us. We don't have a show without you being here to watch it. And as always, while you were here, if you're watching this on the replay, and I should have told you all this up front, the link to the Kickstarter is right there. Just click it, and you'll go to the thing that we've been showing you this whole night so that you can throw some money at this campaign, get the book that you want, get the package that's right for you. And as always, while you were here, we just hope you had a blast. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.